So let's start by taking a closer look at building a new session in your TriCaster. On the home screen, I'm going to start by going to Create New Session. Then at the top of this panel, we can give our session a name. When you first click into this field, it's going to put the date, but we can change this to whatever we would like it to say. I'm going to call mine VisU Training. Next, we can choose which drive letter we want our session created on. Generally, the C drive is not available, but any other drive available on your system will appear. It is recommended that you use a local drive on your TriCaster. Now, USB drives or network drives will appear. They potentially could be used, but make sure you test anything external so that it offers the correct performance for everything to operate properly. Below that is our template option. So we are going to create an empty session for this course. This will create a session that has no pre-programming in it. Everything will be set in its initial default configuration. But if you click on here, you'll see any other sessions that are on your TriCaster system. And we can see the training session that I created earlier. If I was to select this, it will take all the settings from the training session and use them for this new session we're creating. This includes not only video format settings, but things like how the inputs are set up or how they're named or any clips that are loaded in the DDR. So if you wanted to take a session that's already mostly the way you need and have your new session operate just like that previous session, this is a great way to do that. But let's leave ours on empty session for now. And then at the bottom, we can set our format settings for this session. This is what video format we want the session to operate at. So we can choose our video standard, whether that be NTSC or PAL. Then we can choose the appropriate resolution we want to work with. I'm going to do 1080 5994 progressive for this course, but use whatever is appropriate in your case. And then I have an orientation setting as well. Now, some TriCasters will have this, and this will define how the video will be laid out. Typically, you're going to want landscape, which will be your widescreen video format, but you can click and there's other options available. So we can do square video or portrait, which would be vertical video. And when you pick a bunch of settings in here, you'll see at the bottom a listing of everything you've put together so that you know what exactly your settings are going to be. Choosing a resolution sets two things. It will set what the default processing for a session is. In other words, when you bring material in, it's going to be processed at this resolution and frame rate. It's also going to set what the default video resolution coming out of the TriCaster is. Now, in that case, you can override and change a few things, but for the most part, this should be the format that you intend to get out of your TriCaster. Now, one thing you can also do is save this as a preset. If you click above, you can see there's some presets already in here, but perhaps you create something you're going to use quite often. You can click the menu over here, save this as a new preset. Just as an example, let's call this my VisU preset. And now that's added to the list. And anytime I want to use these settings, I could just pick this off the list and have everything ready to go. Once you've got all of your parameters set, you'll click the Start Live Production to start your session.